Yeah, just a very solid performance, I would say. We talked about a little bit the energy level of the team needed to be a little bit higher, which it was. I felt we were maybe struggling a little bit keeping the ball at some times, but overall, a very good performance. He passed it, and in my head, I was thinking it was a little bit too long for me. So I was like, ah, where's he going? And then I ran to it, and I saw him make a run inside, and I just, okay, I'll put it into area where it's dangerous to get the ball. And the ball landed there, and he was sprinting it, shot and scored. That's what I saw. So very nice and a good goal. I'm pretty happy with that assist. Yeah, like I said, we were talking about it in the dressing room that the energy level was good, but the quality on the ball, we were making a little bit too many mistakes. And I felt once we were making the mistakes, we were bringing them into the game. So they got a little bit more of a confidence. But in the second half, we kind of killed the game a little bit, and I felt like we did much better. So yeah, we controlled the game much more in the second half. I mean, that Nashville was pressing. It's I felt like they started pressing and then they were like dropping a little bit once we were trying to find the lines in behind them and in the second half they were dropping a little bit so it was not like I didn't feel like they were pressing constantly but I felt like we did okay but there's some things that we need to improve but overall it was good. Yeah, I felt like I would say we weren't in a hole. I just felt like we had a really bad game last game and of course every team can have a bad game. It just happened. I felt like everybody were like the energy was down, the team was very bad, and of course, then we need to respond. Something just happened. I felt like everything went backwards in that game, and we did. Now we scored 3 goals and we kept a clean sheet, and it's like a little bit of a statement that once we're gonna fall down a little bit, but then we need to stand up, and we did that today, so it was good. Uh, I'm naturally a box to box midfielder, so maybe it's just an instinct, but he wants me to be there, and in this area, he wants me to switch with Facu sometimes, and Facu can go down, and so it's just overall like a little bit of a freedom, which I really like as a footballer. It's a freedom in kind of a structure, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's basically go in the box, but you have to be as fast as possible down. So it's really nice and fun. Was I would say close the lines or like close the like the distances between the line. There was like one time where me and Rodri were a little bit far away from each other, so it was mostly that. And then attackingly, it was we needed to play a little bit more outside of them because they were so narrow. They wanted us to play outside and press then. So that was like kind of the plan: go up, go in to go, no, go out to go in again. So yeah, that was kind of the plan, and it worked. I love it. I've always been since I was a kid. I've always been the smallest, and I would always had to fight and use my mouth a little bit. So it's really fun to just kind of go and try to take bigger guys and just jump over them or jump into them or whatever. So these games, I would say I kind of thrive in and I like it, but of course it's much more fun to just play football and play with the ball.
Muchas gracias. Muy contento. Primero por el equipo. Necesitábamos un partido así, un resultado así. Habíamos quedado muy golpeados después del partido de Kansas. Hablamos durante la semana que no habíamos visto el equipo nuestro. No, eso no éramos nosotros. Nos sentíamos que ese no es nuestro equipo y bueno, y el equipo salió con mucha energía a cambiar el resultado y la cara que había mostrado en Kansas y por eso sacamos la linda victoria.
Yeah, thank you. Obviously, very happy. Most importantly for the team, right? We needed a game like that. We needed a result like that, especially after the hits that we took in the last games during the break from play. And we talked during the week that those games and those performances weren't us. That wasn't the team that we are. And we talked about having to come out and show that energy and show that almost this is like a new team compared to those last few games. So we needed to come out, and thankfully we were able to.
La verdad que, bueno, Luis va a descubrir la clase de jugador que es, ha dejado un legado grande en el fútbol. Y nada, en lo individual, cuando llegué al club, venía con muchos sueños, con muchas expectativas, miedos también, porque no sabía cómo iba a ser. Era la primera vez que salía de Uruguay y bueno, hoy estoy en un momento que disfruto al máximo día a día el club, me siento muy cómodo viviendo en Orlando, los compañeros que tengo, la verdad que se ha formado un grupo que verdaderamente es una familia, siempre nos estamos juntando fuera de la cancha. La verdad que la paso muy bien aquí y nada, eso me tiene muy contento.
Obviously, I feel great. Obviously, we know the quality of player that Luis is. He's a guy that's played at the highest levels of football, and to be on the same level of him in terms of goal contributions at this club is great. When I came to Orlando, I showed up with a lot of goals, a lot of expectations, a lot of fear as well, because it was the first time that I had left Uruguay, and so not knowing how that was going to go. But to be in this run of form right now, I'm just enjoying it the most that I possibly can each and every day. Especially with with this group that they put together, the teammates that I have, the staff, it's really like a family. The way they put it together, we're always getting together off the field, and so to be able to have that type of success here is really fantastic.
Como dije, hoy se sentía ya desde antes del partido, en el calentamiento, la energía del equipo había cambiado mucho a lo que había sido el partido pasado en Kansas. Era una de las cosas que queríamos mejorar, la energía del equipo. Hoy el equipo ya se veía que estaba bien y a pesar de los primeros minutos que ellos no estaban controlando y tuvieron algunas chances, como dicen, el equipo siguió mentalizado y siguió con esa energía y nada, creo que lo supimos demostrar.
Yeah, as I said, I think the energy changed. Right, we could feel in the warm ups and even before the game that the energy of this team had changed from after what happened in Kansas City. We came into the game. Obviously, they got those early chances, but this team continued mentally strong with that feeling of great energy, and we were able to push through that and take the win tonight. But it was all about that energy at the beginning.
Sí, no, sí, en el gol la quise cruzar y salió arriba, pero nada, tiré fuerte con tal de que si salía a otro lado que tratara de pasar al arquero. Y nada, sobre lo de Pedro nadie va a descubrir el arquero que tenemos. Pedro habla por sí solo de sus atajadas, la trayectoria que tiene. La verdad que nosotros confiamos 100% en él. Sabemos que tenemos arquero para rato y nada, nos tiene muy contentos de poder contar con Pedro acá.
I was obviously looking at all the alternatives of the different ways the ball could go, but thankfully it went the way that it did. In terms of Pedro, he's fantastic. We know that he is always behind us. We know the caliber of player he is. He shows it through each and every one of his saves, and it gives us such confidence. That we've got a player like Pedro behind us in goal and really covering us.
La verdad que no tengo ni idea. Si tuviera idea lo trataría de cambiar porque nada, a veces cuando uno no sabe si a la segunda parte del año va a poder revertir la situación y cuando viene la primera parte que no vienen los goles y nada, uno se frustra, trata de trabajar el doble para que sigan o vengan los goles y puedan salir las cosas, pero nada, la verdad que no tengo ni idea por qué eso, pero nada, por suerte hoy estoy en un momento bueno, el equipo viene levantando, está tratando de trepar en la tabla para así llegar en la mejor posición a playoff y nada. Por suerte llegaron los goles en esta etapa y ojalá puedan seguir.
Yeah, truth is, I don't know, right? I was going to the season with a lot of illusions and try and start off well, and in previous seasons when it hasn't happened, I've had the chance to try and reverse that and flip it around. Went into this year, same thing, tried, and when the goals weren't coming, I just had it in my head that I'm going to work double and really try and work to turn that around. And I don't know. Truth is, I don't know why it happens, but thankfully, I'm in a really good moment right now, and I'm enjoying it. And the team continues to rise up, and we continue to fight and push ourselves as high up the table as possible, so we can get the best playoff position possible. But yeah, truth is, I don't know why it happens.
¿Qué tal, Facu? Buenas noches. Felicidades por el partido y la victoria. Tremendo partido en lo colectivo y lo individual para ti. Después del partido, como grupo, ¿qué se dijeron? Obviamente, el ánimo, tú podrías decir que es un cambio anímico lo que se viene y también qué le dirías a los hinchas.
Sí, ya te digo, el cambio lo sentimos desde que perdimos en Kansas. Como dije, el partido de Kansas nos pegó muy duro porque nosotros sentimos, hay veces que perdemos y el equipo, hay veces que nos superan, obviamente, pero en el partido de Kansas pasó como que nosotros no sentimos que ese era nuestro grupo, como que no somos así nosotros. Nosotros corremos por el compañero, para ganarnos es difícil, el otro equipo tiene que correr el doble porque si no nosotros nos hacemos fuertes. En el partido de Kansas nos pasó algo que no nos sentíamos nosotros. Y hoy, como te digo, ya desde la semana ya veníamos tratando de cambiarlo, pero hoy en el calentamiento, cuando entramos al vestuario, sentimos que había algo que había cambiado, que todos queríamos tirar para el mismo lado, para adelante y nada, yo creo que ese cambio de energía nos ayudó a ganar el partido y ahora cuando terminó todos dijeron lo mismo, que sigamos por este carril que con esa energía que vamos a poder llegar lejos.
As I said, after the that change happened after what happened in Kansas. We talked after the game. Some games you lose, and even though you're like you might be the better team in any given game, sometimes you lose. But in that game, we all discussed it after the game that wasn't us. That isn't how this group is. We're a group that we play together. We run for our teammates, so that way to win against us is they would have to run double that because of how strong we're working together and how much effort we're putting in. But that wasn't us. And like I said, during the week, we had worked really hard to try and turn that around. But during the warm up today, as we came in, we could all feel that new energy coming. We just carried that through the game, and then even at the end, we all talked about it. How if we continue on this path, we continue with that same energy, we'll be able to put ourselves in a really good spot.
Buenas noches, un gusto. Sí, este equipo se caracteriza la verdad que somos todos tiramos para el mismo lado, somos un grupo muy unido, todos tiran para el mismo lado, todos corren por el compañero, un grupo muy humilde, así lo tratan los entrenadores de pasar esa idea de que acá no hay nadie diferente, nadie se siente diferente, somos todos iguales y todos corremos por el equipo y para el bien del equipo. Después, obviamente que cada uno va haciendo sus actuaciones individuales, pero siempre tratando de que lo grupal sea lo mejor. Yo creo que esa es la base y la identidad más clara de este equipo.
Yeah, I think the truth is the way this team is characterized. Right, we're a group that is very united. We all run for each other, and this group is incredibly united in the way that we're all equals. Like nobody's doing more running than another. We all show up for the team. We all run for the team. We all fight for the team, and that's how the coaching staff treats us. They give us that. They give us those goals and the idea of the game, but then we all have to go out there and actually act on it and make it happen. And it's a very humble group that just continues to fight for each other. And yeah, I'd say that's the basis of how this team is.
Our teams, our fans, and this moment of not emergency but urgencies, and we have shared this with the players where we need to add points and try to ascend in the standings. But still, we try to do it the best way possible. We want to play well and keep growing as a team. And I saw a lot of positive areas today that made us feel that we had playing a very serious and very professional game against a rival that creates in the first 15 minutes a few chances and complicate our game. But the reaction was good. I thought we were precise in the way we finish it. We have had games where we have more volume on the actions in their backs, but today we were very clean on being precise, and I'd rather just have that. And at this point, we need that lethal instinct from the players, and it was a good game on that part. Second half was much more complete game. I like the discipline of the group. This is the way we can add points in the league. Being disciplined is keep our zero in our goal, and when we have the chances, just put it back in the net. That's it, simple as that. All right, and good goals too, because the first one came off in a recovery, and we did under. We put Nashville under pressure, and we forced them to make a mistake, and we ended up just opening the game. And the moment that was delicate because they were creating some options there, and you're right. First 15 minutes, they came out with a lot of ideas, energy, and they create damage in our area. But we survived well too. We have to do it in those moments. It is very difficult to have a game where you don't concede any chance. At this point, I thought that the way we react, it just show that we can absorb that pressure in that moment, and we score 2 goals. I like that a lot. that reaction was phenomenal for the play. Right. You use the word that we preach in the middle of the game that was control. Said to the players, okay, we're winning, but we have no control of the game. So if you want to close this game in the best way possible, and it could happen that we score more goals or not, but we need control, and that we didn't have in the first half. We have goals and we have actions and we have good behaviors as a group, but we didn't have control. It was a game that it was back and forth. They have chances and they have corners and they have free kicks, and that's dangerous. But again, our reaction under that pressure was very good, and 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 I value that from our players. But I'm much better just have control of the games. And second half that happened, and I felt like we're a much better team. Muchachos hacen goles, muchachos, vamos a ganar partido. I can say this. I want to say this in English because I think it's a good question. My staying in Orlando, this is the first time and I see Nashville pressing that much, pressing the first part of the game. We remember Nashville that has been more conservative, dropping the lines and playing with lines of five and things. Today we got surprised in those 15 minutes too. They press. They force us to make mistakes, and we survive. But that was unexpected. It's very difficult to sustain results. If we don't score goals, we have to score goals. We have a series of games where we were scoring and we were leading and we were winning games. That's it. We score goals, and then we'll have the chance to win.
When I wanted to ask you, the battle of the number 9 position. You have Duncan just renewed contract. You got Ramiro also doing pretty good, and you have Muriel on a scoring drought. How do you handle that battle, and what do you tell the players, especially what's to come? The schedule. Thank you.
Well, we have come with good momentum just before the game in Kansas. And I think the continuity with the players that are well deserved is the way we work here. It's a competition that is laid in the training ground all the time. They know that the way to sustain their eligibility to be started on the team is just because they're doing the right things. And that topic of number 9's characteristics is one, score goals. And Duncan is trying to get his spot back. Ramiro is trying to sustain it. Luis is floating into that advanced midfielder or second forward. And Nico is helping us too. Jacqueline is coming from an injury, but he get into the equation too. What is the reason? They know they need to score goals, and they need to help the group. Defenders defend, the forwards score goals.